Guys, we're going to get into the game here. It is Tal'Darim Altar for game number 3 between Braddock and TT1. TT1 holding peace sign, or maybe he's going to take game 3 to win 2-1. Who knows?
I hope so.
Who knows?
That would make my predictions right. And my confidence in TT1 reaffirmed to me, because every single time I bet on this guy,
every time you bet on him,
he lets me down.
Oh, he let you down. You know who won't let you down?
Rick Astley?
Rick Astley. Oh, you knew it was coming. He's coming. You can't see, but Gator turned his head slowly to me, and you see the grin finally come on his face. He's like, Rick Astley. Okay.
He's never going to give me up.
Yeah,
he's
you can always bet on Rick Astley.
Down.
Yeah. At least that's what he says. But in the end, the man will always fail you, time and time again.
Well, I am so thrilled right now for my predictions, because TT1 is probably in the best positions possible. Let's go over the positions first, though.
Well, actually, let's introduce our players in those positions. We have Braddock, the blue Terran. He is getting a little bit harassed here. He is from FXO, and he's in the bottom right corner. He's going to send another SCV to aid his construction worker. He needs to protect those people on contract. Not a lot of insurance behind that. In the bottom left, we have TT1, the red Protoss from MTW. He did take game number 2. Now, he sent a pretty early probe scout, but he discovered where Terran is, and that's pretty big.
Yeah, if you get an early probe scout, normally you can just know exactly what your opponent's doing, obviously. But not only that, what you can also do is just bother the Terran a lot. And what that does is actually makes up for the money that is being lost with this one probe. Normally, you know, probes want to mine 40 minerals per minute, but if you always are threatening an attack, then an SCV is constantly being pulled off the line, and you can make up the difference right there. So really limited loss there for this one probe being so early.
Yeah, and, you know, Braddock revealed everything he was doing, the no gas, so the fast expansion is imminent, and TT1 can prepare accordingly. Now, you were saying these positions are very favorable, especially because the way the expansion juts out and exposes itself to a lot of harass, especially when Colossi get thermal lands. But what are your thoughts about these spawn positions?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you are a Terran on ladder, I'm sure you've been hating the Squirtle style that you've been seeing all around the place. The Squirtle style is a very quick Colossus push. With 2 Colossus, you send it out, and you have your third one just rallied all the way over there. You mass up with a ton of gateways, and you just do a huge 3 Colossus push. Now, why is it so strong on this map in particular for these positions? Look at this natural. Where does it jut out? It juts out closest to TT1's base. This push distance is the shortest for TT1. If you can see, like, let's say Braddock was in the top left, that would be a pretty long push. Obviously, cross positions would be the longest push. TT1 now has the closest push possible. He can just set his Colossus over here, force the Terran to go into the Protoss. Force fields can be set up very easily, and not only that, he can also position all of his units to tank most of the damage before the Colossus actually get hit.
Yeah, so Braddock has to keep that in mind, especially around the mid-game. We'll see if he's able to hold off that kind of push, or if TT1 even chooses to do that. For now, Fast Nexus is, again, for game, I believe TT1 is trying to do this 3 games in a row, and he's getting a really quick robotics.
He's doing it.
Really quick robotics.
Now, this robotics facility gears up for taking that very quick Colossus push. So we can definitely see that. Unfortunately for Braddock, he wasn't able to see what his opponent was doing, so he has to defend against 6 gate pressure. He has to defend against Immortal pushes, Colossus pushes, Void Ray all-ins, every single one base all-in. Braddock needs to take a couple of assumptions if he wants to play efficient here. And the biggest assumption would be my opponent is going for a fast expansion.
Yeah, I mean, you can see in Braddock's vision, he has nothing scouted of TT1. In fact, he doesn't even know his opponent's scouting. Well, actually, he does know his scouting positions. He scouted every base except for that one, so he knows where TT1 is. In the meantime, Braddock is getting stim first, not concussive shells.
Yep, I like it. Stim is a much better choice, but it is for a later game stage. You can see that game on Antigua Shipyard was for some sort of trickiness. These 5 Marines are being so bold and moving all the way up. Now, if they encounter just 3 or 4 Stalkers, all of these Marines are dead. So that's why Braddock is staying at this watchtower. He's just saying, okay, I'm just going to see what's going on, what my opponent is capable of. That actually let him know that it is not going to be a 1 base all-in. If it's a 1 base all-in, some units will be out in the field, really punishing his opponent for that. but it's not going to be a one base all in because normally Stalkers would not back up in that period in time.
Normally they'd be more aggressive, trying to pick off any units they can because every unit counts in that one base all in.
Oh.
Or at least in terms of a pressure. But we do see
a War Prism.
A War Prism, yeah. Interesting. And no fast robotics bay.
I'm really interested for this. Now, a really cool strategy that he could do with 3 sentries out in the field, he can easily just force field off this ramp and then kill the stim. If he kills the stim, that's like glorious. Glory, glory, hallelujah. That's what that is.
Yeah, man. It's a great moment of nirvana, right? For Terran when they can take care of those War Prisms. But TT1, he has, what does he have loaded up here? He's got 3 sentries and a stalker, very similar to game number 2. This time, Braddock does not have a pack of Marines. Oh, force fields to ensure the SCV safety. Good guy, TT1. Oh, SCVs are running. I must help them. And that's a spy sentry, man. That's a traitor. Enemy behind the lines, man.
You are actually the best person in the world. You are the greatest person in the world, Fred.
That's a great movie, man. I like it.
Anyway, this one War Prism is just going to be a nuisance. Basically says, Braddock, stay in your base until you get medevacs out. That's normally what he's doing, though. I would have loved him to actually force field off the choke. That would have been a lot better. I mean, getting rid of that stim. Stim is the longest ever upgrade for this early game stage. 170 seconds just to upgrade that. So if you can get rid of it early in the game, you basically say, my opponent has no pushes. I can do whatever the hell I want because force fields are amazing.
Yes, and Braddock wants to keep track of that War Prism, so he does see it in the vision of his factory, but TT1 now floating it slightly away. TT1 during this whole time was getting double forge as well as a Twilight Council, so preparing for fast 2-2. And Braddock finally starting his +1, so having the upgrade advantage, we saw how effective it was before. But Braddock, he's moving out here towards the center of the map.
TT1 will be able to see everything that's going on with this one control of this El Naga tower. You can see the probe is actually going to be salvaged. Nope, never mind. He's going to, nope.
No, yeah, the probe does manage to get away, and he does manage to scout the entire army. Now he sees that Braddock's leaning towards the top, and he could kind of elevate her in.
Yeah, I think he's just going to get rid of the assimilator. This is really common Tal'Darim Altar because the assimilator is so exposed. You just go ahead and get rid of that assimilator. Force your opponent to go on 1.5 base economy.
I think Braddock expected a Colossus 2. He scanned, and he saw only an Immortal. He says, wait, you don't actually have it, so he's actually going to poke back in here. And he has to be really cautious, though. Force fields could push out and trap these units, but Braddock is just going to stim and pick up.
Oh, poor Marauder. Oh. Never mind. He's good.
Oh, no, he's good. He's all right, man.
What is TT1 doing?
TT1, yeah, he just didn't notice that. And that Marauder actually picked off several kills, and he got 3 probe kills for free there.
Kind of weird play by TT1, but Braddock, he's getting his +1 weapons attack. Unfortunately for him, he doesn't know he's going against a incoming 2-2. And that could be very detrimental. Now, Combat Shields was just finished, so Braddock might have a timing right here with this +1 weapons attack. Nice
little drop here from TT1 to harass with his War Prism to the southern part of the map, and the Zealots, of course, a little bit harder to take out, but I think Braddock does know the 2-2. He saw double forge, and he knows that Protoss is on 1-1 upgrade, so it's only logical for him to conclude. He's trying to hit before that timing, as well as before TT1 gets any kind of Colossus. There are a lot of expensive units here from TT1, has to be really cautious.
The big problem is TT1 doesn't know if there's another counter or some sort of drop anywhere else, but there it is. Nice force fields. We're actually going to trap a ton of units in. He picks up. Will he get that? Yes, he gets that one medevac. What a big pickoff right there.
Yes.
There's a medevac filled up with units all the way on the left-hand side, but Braddock still has not used that. There's some critical times where he could have.
A huge instrument for that defense was the observer placement.
Yes.
And seeing exactly where Braddock was. And TT1, you could see he caught a peek of the units, and he saw Braddock temporarily left it alone and trapped the units before Braddock was able to respond. So TT1 able to take that unit advantage, as he also has a probe advantage too. Braddock is expanding to the mid-right though, and trying to see if he can sneak a third away from where the conventional third is.
But TT1 is just now tempered his sword. He's already geared up to do this push. 2-2 is out, and he has some critical upgrades that will be able to just mutilate his opponent. Now there is that drop that landed in the top left-hand corner. He doesn't yet use that.
You looked at the sheet for that word, mutilate.
I did. I did.
Yeah, that was great. So I am enthralled, Andre, by some of the developments we've seen. You see Charge about to finish as well, +3/+3 starter. Now TT1, he's taking a third base. He feels like he's really ahead supply-wise. And Braddock, that's why he sneaked in the third. And I like that kind of play from Braddock, taking that risk. Again, another drop attempt here from War Prism, but does manage to escape towards the top right. But does he see the expansion here, Andre?
He hasn't seen it yet, but he's going to check for it right now, and there it is. Now, he won't be able to warp in any units in time to kill that Nexus from actually starting up. There it is. The first Zealot gets landed. And it looks like TT1 is actually pushing out. This is unfortunate because those Marines and Marauders are still... What? Braddock, do something! Do something with those units. It's actually killing me. The anticipation is killing me. Oh my goodness.
The 5 Vikings does clean up the War Prism, so no two-prong harass here from TT1. Now, he is moving out with his Zealots and keeping some Stalkers because I think he senses the dropship. Man, TT1's spider senses are tingling. Oh, one Colossus does pop out just in time if those Marauders and Marines want to pick it off, but Braddock instead chooses to run by and pick off immediately. Or does he? TT1 immediately snipes that.
And TT1 has 33 geared up. It will finish before 2-2. So he will be 3-3 against a 1-1 Terran army. Let me tell you how that works out for Terran. Not so well, Frodan.
This is exactly how Andre lost earlier today on
I don't want to hear about that, man.
And that's what prompted him to start cheesing with the Protoss account.
I know.
So. We do see TT1 still active with that observer.
How dare you?
He is so salty right now, but
I actually am. Dude, TVP is like a nightmare right now.
Ooh, good snipe there from Braddock. That'll help him in his cause, because of course keeping a track of Viking positioning and where the army is will allow TT1 to time everything correctly in terms of his force fields, his guardian shield. Look at that, TT1 splitting up his army preemptively, just trying to get a good concave.
And there it is. The push will commence. The Zealots are going to lead the way, a very intelligent way to actually do that. Blink is not yet finished, unfortunate for him. Oh, and he doesn't have Thermal Lance finished either.
Oh man, one Colossus pretty much goes down quickly, but there's still a lot of units here from TT1. He may just have the simple mass advantage as the Colossus not really adds this damage. Look at that cutting from Braddock. He is going to lose his Vikings, but their job has been finished, at least for now. But one Colossus is on the way to join the Protoss brethren. Braddock on the hot retreat, as many of his medevacs were picked off, and a bunch of Marauders are getting cornered.
Oh no, Braddock is in a terrible position. Frodan, I don't know what he can do from here. He needs so much time to rebuild that army. He needs Vikings, he needs medevacs, he needs ghosts. All of these things require so much gas, and how can he do that off of 4 gas? If TT1 just pushes in a little bit, takes out the third, I don't know if Braddock is in a situation where he can ever win this game.
Yeah, Braddock lifting his orbital command at his third, knowing he can't defend it whatsoever. And yeah, +2/+2 just finished. So TT1 hit at the most opportunistic point where Braddock was weakest. You see that he's actually pulling his Marauders and Marines to his natural, trying to see if he can pick up some important tech and catch TT1 off guard. He's targeting the Nexus here, and it looks like he will be able to get it.
What is TT1 doing? He's actually not. He's going back. I don't know why he's going back. The Nexus goes down. Now the Colossus. That's going to go down now before a nice spray. Holy crap. Man. That was a great spray of Colossus fire there.
Yeah, but TT1's just got so much units. Look at that, 170 supply to 110. Braddock does have some units to defend back at home, but no Ghost to de-energize those sentries and to basically make most of the Protoss army very vulnerable. The Vikings trying to push it off, but this is exact positions that every Terran's afraid of when the Colossus starts poking the natural.
Yeah, you need a lot of time to make those Vikings, and the whole time you want to be preparing for those medevacs, because if it's a heavy gateway army, you're actually just gearing up to just hold. You know, you're holding position. It's a lot of times a very cramped, narrow areas, but I don't think Braddock can defend against this because there's just too much stuff.
He's got one bunker to defend. In fact, the turret is taking out the Colossus, but with force fields trapping all the units, all the SCVs being pulled, the last strands of hope for Braddock are being pulled away as TT1 is stomping this army, rolling over everything it can see. You see the lift off here from the orbital command, and there it is. GG. TT1. Oh, you rotated the camera, you
Making
slide
me good.
dog.
Making me look good, man.
Man.
We actually have a TT1 interview, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really excited for this. And we have it after commercial. Excuse me.
Right after commercial. You know, we've seen lots of great play from TT1. The best moment was just picking that timing with +3 over +1, and that just shows you, again, we're talking about how crucial upgrades are to mid and late game TVP, and none other than defined by that battle.
Definitely, and I'm interested to see what he has to say about his play. His build was very interesting with that War Prism. We'll get inside of the TT1 brain after this, so don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back, not only do we have a TT1 interview, we also have more great matches. Don't go anywhere. Interview with TT1 coming up after this.